and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence for our servicemen and women, first responders and veterans, particularly those who have paid the ultimate price, as well as our healthcare workers who tirelessly work to save lives every day. Thank you. Please be seated. Our historian was on the agenda for today, but is unable to be here. We'll move on to open forum. Is there anyone here for open forum? Yes, Martha.
I thought it was worth mentioning this. I was concerned about the security at the assessment meeting Thursday night. But Tammy listened to the interruptions with respect and used the interest of the attendees to give all of us a wealth of information that most were not aware of. In the end, I think she set a positive relationship with the community to move forward with reassessment. I commend Tammy for her expertise and the ability to communicate that to a challenging audience. Thank you.
Thanks,
I'll
Martha.
second that.
Thank you. Were you there, Dave?
I was not there, but I know how she works, and she's very, what's the right word? Meticulous, competent, yeah.
Oh, she's confident for sure.
And she had the details, she had the information.
She
and
does.
I think she knocked them over.
Thank you
She
for
did.
mentioning. We agree.
People are very misinformed about what she has to do, you know.
And they learned a lot in spite of themselves.
All in an hour.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at least that's my take, I'd like to think so.
That's why she's been well trained. She's represented Clarkson well for the time that she really has our best interests at heart. I trusted her impeccably. I was not there. We would have had to call a special meeting, a special town board meeting, in order for more than 2 of our town board members to be there. So I thought it was important that, I had planned to be there to represent, or to support Tammy, but I thought it was important for our 2 town board members to go. So Kathy and Dave were in attendance.
were.
So, and I've been in attendance at those meetings before, as has Sharon. So it was a good learning opportunity for you. And I really hope that it was. I know I've heard that there was some negativity, but I hope there was more positive than negative. And if anyone has has more questions, she's a phone call or a visit away. So,
You made that clear.
oh, good. I'm glad. Okay, thanks for sharing that.
Yep.
Okay, anyone else for open forum? Anything? Nothing? Okay. Moving on to, we have an old business item. It's old business only because it relates to our WIBA water line project. Whereas the town of Clarkson, hereinafter referred to as the town board, I'm not sure why that is, but okay, is installing a water main for water improvement benefit area number 1. And whereas the town received funding from USDA in the form of grant and loan funds, the USDA had issued a letter of conditions for the town of Clarkson. The town also borrowed funds from Greene County Commercial Bank to cover expenses for the loan portion of the project. And whereas the town had spent down all USDA loan funds for this project and was beginning to be reimbursed for costs through the grant funds in August of 2025. And whereas the United States government was shut down from October 1st to November 12th, 2025, and the town was required to make payments to its contractors for this project before grant funds could be received from the USDA during the shutdown. And whereas the town advanced funding to WIBA number 1 from the town of Clarkson General Fund in order to pay its contractors for this project. And whereas these payments incurred interest of $8,293.97 due to the town of Clarkson General Fund. And whereas 0 remains in the net interest budget line 83 for this project. And whereas $336,618.19 remains in the contingency budget line D for this project. Now therefore be resolved that the town board accepts and approves that $8,293.97 be moved from the project contingency budget line D to the net interest budget line 83. The total project cost will not change. Is there a motion for this?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, I know it sounds really complicated, but it's not. I mean, it is. I mean, the calculation involved in this was done by our engineers and with our CPA. So there's a formula that was given to us. And if you understand that the government shut down, we weren't getting reimbursement anymore for a time. And during that time, we had enough funds to go ahead and keep paying the contractor. And it's those funds that earned the interest. We have since been reimbursed those funds, but it's the interest that was earned on the money that we advanced to pay the contractors. That's what this is allowing for. Okay, is there any other comments or discussion about that other than my trying to explain it well? I don't know if I did, but that pretty much covers it. Okay, may I have a call for a motion? We have a motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, sorry. I always get discombobulated at some point. Okay. Number 2, new business. Authorize supervisor to sign the Stormwater Coalition intermunicipal agreement. Whereas the town of Clarkson is a member of the Monroe County Stormwater Coalition, and whereas the coalition has prepared a new Stormwater Coalition intermunicipal agreement, and whereas the town board of the town of Clarkson has determined it is in the best interest of the town to continue its participation in the coalition, whereas the town attorney has reviewed said agreement and finds it to be in good order. Now therefore be it resolved that the supervisor on behalf of the town of Clarkson is hereby authorized to execute said intermunicipal agreement. May I have a motion?
Second.
Okay, for discussion, this intermunicipal agreement was recently received by our building department, forwarded on to our attorney for review. The email reads from that was received, or actually it's from you, Keith, if you don't mind my reading it. It explains it. It says, under the federal Phase 2 stormwater regulations, the burden of stormwater pollution prevention ultimately falls on local governments. The Monroe County Stormwater Coalition was formed to share the administrative burden and costs among local governments. As you can see from Exhibit C, most local governments, including Clarkson, are already members. The IMA before you extends that membership for another 5 years. As before, there's an annual membership fee, partly based on population size. Clarkson's initial annual fee is $5,610.12. All annual fees are subject to increase on an annual basis. We have been, to be a member of the coalition, we've been paying roughly that amount of money for years, right, on an annual basis. There just never was an intermunicipal agreement before with Monroe County. Now we have one. It's 9 pages long or more. No, it's 9, 8, 9, anyway. So anything you want to add to that?
No, I think that covers it.
That covers it, okay. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Sorry, was there any other questions on that, or are we good? Okay. The building department they're our gurus for stormwater. Okay, number 3. Resolution to authorize supervisor to sign the seeker determination of significance for the San Souci Park Improvements Project. Whereas the town of Clarkson, hereinafter referred to as the town board, is seeking to install improvements at San Souci Town Park, and whereas the town board has determined the above referenced application, hereafter referred to as action, is an unlisted action under Part 617 of the State Environmental Quality Review seeker regulations, and whereas the town board has determined that the proposed project is subject to a single agency to review pursuant to Part 617.6B4 of the seeker regulations, and whereas the town board determines that it is the most appropriate agency for making the determination of significance thereon under seeker regulations, And whereas the town board has given consideration to the criteria for determining significance as set forth in said section of the seeker regulations and the information contained in the short environmental assessment form, part 1. And whereas the town board has completed part 2 and part 3 of the short environmental assessment form, and now therefore be resolved that the town board does hereby designate itself as lead agency for the proposed development above herein. And be further resolved that the town board has reasonably concluded the following impacts are expected to result from the proposed action when compared against the criteria in section 617.7C. There will not be a substantial adverse change in existing air quality, ground or surface water quality or quantity, traffic noise levels, a substantial increase in solid waste production, a substantial increase in potential for erosion, flooding, leaching, or drainage problems. Number 2, there will not be large quantities of vegetation or fauna removed from the site or destroyed as a result of the proposed action. There will not be substantial inference with the movement of any resident or migratory fish or wildlife species as a result of the proposed action. There will not be a significant impact upon habitat areas on the site. There are no known threatened or endangered species of animal or plant, or the habitat of such species, or are there any significant adverse impacts of natural resources on the site. 3, there are no known critical environmental areas on the site which will be impaired as a result of the proposed action. 4, an overall density of the site is consistent with the comprehensive plan land use recommendations. 5, the proposed action will not impair important historical, archaeological, architectural, aesthetic resources, community, or neighborhood character. 6, there will not be a major change in the use of either the quantity of or type of energy resulting from the proposed action. There will not be any hazard created to human health. That was 7. 8, there will not be a substantial change in the use or intensity of use of land, including open space or recreational resources, or in its capacity to support existing uses. 9, there will not be a large number of persons attracted to the site for more than a few days when compared to the number of persons who will come to such a place absent the action. 10, there will not be created a material demand for other actions that will result in any one of the above consequences. 11, there will not be changes in 2 or more of the elements of the environment that, when considered together, result in a substantial adverse impact. And 12, there are not 2 or more related actions which would have significant impact upon the environment. Be it further resolved that based upon the information and analysis above and the supporting documentation, the town board determines that the proposed action will not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts. Be it further resolved, the town board directs the town supervisor to sign and date part 3 of the short environmental assessment form and to identify on the form that the proposed action will not result in any significant adverse impacts. Be it finally resolved that the town board directs that copies of this determination be filed as provided for under seeker regulations. Now you will know all about seeker. That's what needs to be, pardon me?
That's what you just spelled out.
It is. Most people don't know what seeker is, Dave, right? It's, okay, so that's our resolution. And it is all because, well, I'll talk about this later. Let's do I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Okay,
I'll second it.
thank you. Okay. This is all as a result of the work, the grant that we received out at San Souci Park to do the work on the canal. We received the grant, and as just to refresh, we are going to replace the dock, and that's been in need of repair for a while. There's a boat slip there, so the docks will be replaced, and
One dock,
one dock, sorry,
one
yes,
stay.
yes, correct. And we're gonna install a playground and a swing set and a bike rack. So those are the enhancements that we're doing under this grant. In order to do the work at the park, they require a lot of paperwork, which is what this is part of. And Keith, you also handed us this letter. Is that something that you wanted to talk about?
Yes, actually, if I could.
Yes, please.
So as part of the seeker review, since it's on the Erie Canal and the Erie Canal is considered historic, an historic asset, we were required to send a package to SHPO, the State Historic Preservation Office, run through the State Parks Department. Their response was they were good with the project on a conditional basis so long as we're cloning what's already there. And if we do anything different, which you may well do, you have to send them the drawings. And I talked to MRB this afternoon. From what I gather, there are no construction drawings, at least not suitable for framing yet. So when you get to that point, send the package to SHPO, ask them to bless it a second time. I suspect they will, but you gotta do it.
Right. Yeah, I'm aware of that as well. I know that we haven't gotten to the design aspect of it. We were going to do something a little different, improve it greater than what it is, and they're giving us permission right now to just replace exactly what's there.
Well, that's
So-
great. And just as a bit of context, if you look at Fairport, for example, in recent years, they've done some significant upgrades along the canal, and SHPO is just fine with it.
Okay.
So don't be shy.
Okay, well, that's good to know. All right, thanks. Okay. Okay, so with that said, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, one more. Okay. Number 4 is the town of Clarkson wishes to purchase a new Bobcat L95 compact wheel loader. And whereas the superintendent of highways, Robert Viscardi, has submitted a vehicle proposal from Doosan Bobcat North America, Inc. through Bobcat of the Finger Lakes, Fairport, New York, which has been attached and made a part hereof. Whereas the above referenced vehicle is available for purchase under New York State's piggybacking law under the New York State OGS contract, the numbers referenced, through an authorized vendor, which eliminates the need for competitive bidding pursuant to Section 103 of the New York State General Municipal Law. And whereas the vehicle would be purchased at a price of $101,434.54, and whereas the superintendent of highways has recommended that this said quote be accepted with $101,434.54 coming from the DA.5130.200 fund entitled Machinery, Equipment, and Capital Outlay. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board authorizes the superintendent of highways to purchase a new Bobcat L95 compact wheel loader in an amount not to exceed said sum from Doosan Bobcat North America, Inc. through Bobcat of the Finger Lakes by piggybacking up in New York State OGS contract, numbers written, to be paid from the DA fund, machinery, equipment, and capital outlay as referenced above in this resolution and as shown and set forth on the attached proposal. And it is further resolved, the town superintendent of highways is hereby authorized to enter into and sign all necessary documents to pay all amounts needed in order to effectuate the same. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Okay, for discussion, I'll see if Bob wants to add to it. I'm just mentioning for the community this, the DA fund that's listed, every single fund, that's part of our budget. If you've ever looked at our budget, it's all broken down into very specific details. So when this was submitted, we checked the fund to make sure there's enough money to cover that amount of money, and there is. So I believe the fund is $150,000, and this meets that. It's just, I'm just letting you know that we just don't pull these numbers out of the air. They're very specific to the items that we purchase. Okay, and Bob, is there anything you wanted to add about this piece of equipment?
I don't know if anybody has any questions, but I'll explain it a little bit. It's about a 12,000 pound machine, which is about a third of the size of our large loader. We can do a lot of things with it. You can go in yards. It will come handy if we do some of the park renovation. We did our homework. We looked at 5 different machines through the fall and into the early winter. We looked at the John Deere, which came in at $137,000. These are all on Sourcewell or OGS contract, by the way. The Hitachi was about $116,000. The Case was at $119,000. The Bobcat came in right around $102,000, and the Yanmar was $99,000. We have 4 pieces of Bobcat equipment. It is right now, so it'll fit all the attachments we have
Oh, good.
with ease. And Bobcat's been very good to work with if there's any problems with it. They're all the parts are here, and if we need anything, we just go to the store and get it. So that's the one that we landed on. And so nice machine.
Is it in stock? I mean.
No, it's probably,
You have to order it?
yeah, I would say 2 to 3 months out,
Oh, okay, okay,
which isn't really bad for equipment nowadays. So,
okay.
I had a quick
Sure.
question. Is this a new piece of equipment?
Brand new.
Or is it, so it's brand new, it's not replacing anything we already have?
no, we do not have one at this time, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else? We're good? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Feels like fun, a new toy. Okay, as far as the reports, excuse me. This is information, I try to provide information from since our last board meeting. So, as you recall, the town was recently denied the New York State DEC SWIFR, SWIFR grant for funds to build a new salt barn at the Highway Department. And on February 3rd, MRB Group, Bob Viscardi and I participated in a debriefing of the denial. The DEC was very thorough in explaining the value of each category of the application. Each category had a certain value that you had to meet in order to, it's like taking a test. It was taking a test. We needed 40 points to qualify, and we received 37. The opportunity to resubmit for the 2026 grant will become available again later this spring, and we need to decide if we wish to try again. So that conversation is not finished, but gave us a lot of good pointers on where we may have not been strong enough in preparing the grant. So it was a good learning experience for us as well as MRB. The first quarterly newsletter of 2026 was included in the West Side News this weekend. I hope everyone gets the paper, received it. You haven't, it wasn't in your paper, or you didn't get the paper yet?
I didn't get the paper.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we have, do they still deliver out here, Susan? Okay, so.
They should be right out here.
They should be in the little purple box out here. We do have some extra flyers on the counter, and we'll put it on our Facebook as well. I mean, a link, we'll put it on Facebook and with a link to the website. I don't believe it's there yet. I checked earlier today, but there are some copies in the lobby. Last week, our assessor, again, we just piggybacking on what was said earlier, together with 2 representatives from New York State, led a public meeting regarding the planned 2026 property assessments. The information Tammy provided during the meeting is also available on our website and in the lobby. So there's a packet of that out there that you can pick up. Tammy and her assistant Darla are always available to answer questions for residents. We received information from Monroe County Soil and Water Conservation District's Tree and Shrub Program and posted it on our website and also on Facebook. It is open for orders. Residents can pre-order affordable seedlings, live stakes, shrubs, flowering plants, seed mixes, and more. It's great for habitat, erosion control, and beautifying your property. The information is on our website. You can browse the program details and how to order. All orders must be received by March 6th. If you're interested, distribution is April 22nd or 23rd through the 24th at the Monroe County Eco Park, and an overstock sale will follow on April 25th. I know a lot of residents participate in that, and we just thought it was good for the public to know.
Say again how to contact this,
Where it is?
how to get to this.
It's through the Monroe County Soil and Water Conservation District, but if you go to our website, there's a link, and I think we've got it posted out in
It
the
is.
lobby. There's a post on the lobby out there,
Under news on the website and posts, it's right there.
but it's also, we've got on the bulletin out board out there if you want to take a picture of it, or if you want us to make a copy for you. Yeah, so I think it's just like an order form or something online, and you can click what you want, and there's just a deadline of March 6th, so you got a little time. We held our first Good Neighbor Day planning meeting on February 3rd. Just those of us here at the town hall and Sharon. We mark your calendars for Friday, August 14th from 5 to 10 p.m. We plan to celebrate our country's 250th anniversary during that time as well. So we're not sure what that looks like yet. We're just at the beginning of stages of getting our vendors together, and more information on that will be coming. As you are aware, the remaining 2025 expenses were paid during January. If you remember, our audits were split between, old and new, still leftovers from 2025. So our accountant is now finishing up the year-end reports for 2025, and so we hope to approve December and January's financial reports at our next meeting on February 24th. And also, MRB submitted the 2026 NPR grant last Friday ahead of ahead of yesterday's deadline. This grant is specifically for the spray park and the new sports courts, the basketball, tennis, and pickleball courts, per our new park design. This is the one we're reapplying for because we weren't granted it last year, so we're giving it another shot this year. So we'll wait and see. And then, let's see what's after that. Town board, anything from anyone?
Nope, I'm good.
What's that?
I just wanted to piggyback and thank everybody for letting us go. I know that a couple of you really wanted to go to the meeting, the assessment meeting, and you backed off so that we could go. And I appreciate that. I do totally agree. She took a situation that could have gone in an opposite direction, and she did a great job turning it back around. And I think when we left, there were more people in support of what she was talking about than there were. The negatives obviously were very loud at the beginning, and I don't believe some of their points weren't really about assessment. They tried to go in a different direction. But there were a couple of people in the audience as well that tried to bring it back. So I thought that was a good example of how there are some informed people and people that are happy, even though nobody really enjoys paying taxes, but are happy with the way the town is doing things because they tried to redirect the conversation in a more positive manner. So I just piggyback on what you'd said. I totally agree with what you said about that.
And I was so sorry that the school board took such a beating, because I am most often one attending your budget meetings every year, having been on the board. And if those same people would just go and learn something, because the presentations are always excellent there too. So I'm sorry for that, but whatever.
But I do think she brought it back around, and I don't think there were the majority of people that left with a bitter feeling.
I don't
I thought most people
Yeah, that's
left
good.
with a, okay, I get it. Like I said, nobody's
More
really
educated.
happy paying taxes, but the fact is that,
Understand what you're doing,
right,
you know?
yeah, I
And
think,
they can talk to her. She made
Yes.
that clear.
yes, very. So thank you for being there, that was great. But again, thank you for you guys letting us go, 'cause I know a couple of you really wanted to go, and I appreciate you letting us go.
Oh, you always feel like I need to support her, or we're asking her to do that, so, that I should be there, and it's
I'm
okay.
glad to know, 'cause I wondered.
Yeah, oh, Martha, please. I mean, we even talked about it. I reviewed it with our attorney. We would have had to call a special meeting and then had it posted and have it, and then that would have, but it wasn't a town board meeting, it's a service that's provided, we support her. This is her job, right? And so we gave her free rein, but I did want us to be there. I want to go back though to your earlier comment. When you started it, you were concerned about the security, you said. Because of the adverse, where some of it could have been
Guys
adverse?
were really rough. at the
Okay.
beginning. They interrupted, they were loud, they wouldn't stop talking.
Yeah,
And Rob and a few others called people by name and
And-
said, we hear you, but that's not what we're doing here. And then, as you said, others tried to take it off again, and you had to wait them out. She said, I talked to her, I happened to be by the office the next day, and she said, I knew better than to shut them down. And she said, I let them just speak, and then I could go ahead. And when she went ahead, she had so much information to share. It's really admirable
that's
how
good.
she can keep all of that here.
Yeah. I wanted to let you know, though, ahead of that, I didn't know how many people would be there. I was concerned about the capacity. I did make some phone calls ahead of that to make sure that if there was a capacity need, I made sure that our code enforcement officer was there. I made sure that Mike Farrell would be available if need be to come down. I'm just saying, I knew all of that ahead of it. I was just to prepare for it.
It was just rough.
Yeah.
They were loud, and
They were loud.
They were loud, that was basically it, they were full. No, there were, I don't know, what would you say, 35, 40 people there?
44.
Susan was there.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't, it was just, you know how it is, some people when they wanna make their point.
They want
get
event.
Very
Yes,
vocal.
yes.
And they raise their volume.
Yeah,
They were bullying.
Yeah, and she did a great job just bringing it back around. And like you said, there were other people in the audience that were taking care of that. I mean, they said,
100%.
we need to stay on
They did.
task. This isn't what we're talking about. I mean, there were three or four different people that said something at 3 or 4 different times.
Tammy came in the next day and she just stood in my doorway and and I didn't say anything. And she says, I thought it went well. You know, so I know, I said, I have no doubt. So, yeah, she was pleased. And
She has every right to be.
right.
And she was solo. She was really.
Yeah, I mean, she
And
did,
She said she had never done a PowerPoint.
yeah, she did.
That's right.
I know. It looked like when she first brought me the copy, it looked like New York City was on the front of the cover, was New York
She did
City.
have copies for everybody, so that was kind of a nice thing too.
Right,
As soon as you came in, she came right to you and handed you a copy of it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you had all the information there. You could read it. It wasn't like
well,
she was
and
trying to
follow
hide
along,
anything.
right,
Yeah.
right, so, yeah. All right, I'm glad, okay. Town clerk,
I am good. I'm just moving along with the tax season that has succumbed my life at this time. But no, all is moving along just fine. So
today's February 10th.
I know
It was all yours.
it's all I have room for right now. So that's full to capacity with taxes.
Okay, the building department did submit a report. It reads, the organization of the property files has been completed and the work has begun in organizing the subdivision files. So in their office, within their office, there's a street address and a house number. Every single house number and property has its own file, right? So she sorted all those through to make sure they're in good order and excess copies are tossed. Whatever's in the big room downstairs are all the subdivisions. So now she's attacking that. So it's good. I told her I wasn't gonna buy another filing cabinet until you sorted those through. So that's what she's doing, and in her spare time, and she's really busy down there. The 2026 fire inspection notices were sent on January 29th. To date, 10 of the 69 businesses require inspections this year have contacted the department to schedule their inspections. Updated mapping for Clarkson zoning, wetlands, and water resources has been printed and is available in the building department. Oh, that's good. So maps like those, only really big ones, if you're concerned about
They just came in,
wetlands.
yeah.
Yeah, they just came in. MRB provided those to us. They don't have enough wall space downstairs. In our new town hall, we will have wall space. A proposed telecommunications tower on Sweden Walker Road is currently under review with site plan approval before the planning board and a special permit application before the zoning board of appeals. That's almost adjacent to Sweden Walker, Gilmore. It's like over here in a field. Right, Dave? Yes, okay.
Right behind John Egan's.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his property. An application for 8388 Ridge Road College Service Center, Kitty Corner, has completed review by the Historic Preservation Board for a certificate of appropriateness related to a proposed change of use from an auto repair shop to a gas station and convenience store. The application is scheduled to appear before the planning board for site plan approval of the change in use at its next meeting on February 17th. The building department is in the process of reconfiguring our space in the retention room that's over at the courthouse in the basement. It's a separate retention room, records retention room, accurately reflecting the inventory log and adding prints appropriately deemed for retention. The building department conducted a drive-through inspection of the historic district to identify potential New York State property maintenance violations. The department is currently in process of contacting the affected property owners. You may or may not know that in our historic district, there's a lot of homes that are vacant, especially up Bridge Road on the north side. And the Historic Commission first has to go to them because they're under the SHPO guidelines. And so they've identified those homes and then given the list to our building department, and then it's their job to follow through and contact the homeowners about what to do. They're either in disrepair or not occupied. I'm not sure what the recourse is, except they're vacant and in disrepair. So we're hoping to try to, make things better on our main drive into Clarkson. Okay, that's what I have for the building department. I just did that. Attorney O'Toole.
I'm good.
Okay. Highway superintendent.
Just a few snow facts, since we're about 2/3 through the winter.
Oh, please.
There wasn't any today.
Tomorrow,
This morning,
There was this morning,
Yeah.
yeah, there was.
where were you?
4:30 AM.
Yeah, there was, so.
Yes, there was.
My figures, we're at about 110 inches of snow this year. I think the airport says they're around 90, 95 from there, but we're around 110. And I think the most I've ever seen was in 1999, and Clarkson was 125 inches, so we're not far to go.
We're not done yet
It's in our
either.
sights.
What year was
So-
that? Did you?
1999.
1999.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, the trucks have traveled this year between town, state, and county, 36,023 miles. Just all inside our four roads here, so. Yeah, we've used these figures are as of the 1st of February, about 1,400 tons of salt. That's probably another 400 or 500 tons since then, so, quite a bit. It's a good old-fashioned winter. We did have Channel 13 call today, and I did an interview with Channel 13 about the salt shortage, if you will. A lot of towns it's not so much a shortage, they're not getting it out of the ground and getting it to us, so we're in good shape right now. The barn is about 3/4 full, but they're not getting it to us in a timely fashion. There's a ton of excuses out there of why they're not getting it to us, but the bottom line is they're not getting it out of the ground and getting it over here. So we'll see what happens the rest of the year. It's going to be a good 2 weeks here. It looks like some warmer weather, so they can get a break and get some mill or mine and get it up on top of the ground. So, but, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. We're every
Yeah,
day,
it's been a long winter.
every day is one day closer to spring. Just is. My dog was happy today to walk in 37 degrees or 27 degrees or whatever it was.
Probably was 80.
Crazy. Okay.
So, yeah, that's all I have.
Is that you got? Okay,
Yeah.
anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. The minutes from January 27th, motion to
I'll make the motion.
Second.
pass the minutes, approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And the bills are $88,832.38.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
A second.